Hey everybody, welcome to our Box Reviews. I'm Stan with my lovely wife Tanya here again, and we've just got out of Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. Yeah, so we're gonna review it. We're gonna review it a little bit, but yeah, we're gonna go into spoiler territory towards the end. This was okay.
It was alright.
It wasn't like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, first one was a nice setup, but the special effects were like pretty dismal.
Pretty bad.
So now, like in this one, it's like, oh look, we've got a budget now, we can play with it, and it's still like it with the whole story of Billy Butts and like going, I've got to be Shazam now. I've got to be, or he is Captain Marvel, the original freaking Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So like they do a nice little joke sort of to it throughout the movie, but yeah, all in all, it's such a heartbreaking thing to be like, is this really just another one of those ships freaking, about to like Titanic hit the iceberg and the iceberg's called James Gunn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just don't know if it's on the cutting board or not.
Yeah, and it's really like you're watching this saying like, where's this going to go from here now? Like, well, maybe they might make it a little bit connected and stuff, but
To what?
yeah, it struggles to kind of find that, for me, the whole kind of like, the identity of what it's trying to be in this world full of these heroes, because we don't know which ones are involved and stuff. They show you some stuff where it is like, hey, it sort of connects to the Snyderverse, but now it's going into the freaking James Gunn
Universe, yeah.
yeah,
The pacing was very off. Like, it was a lot
dragged
of
out a
pacing
lot.
problems.
Yeah, it didn't. Overall, the story was a little bit pulled in so many different directions. And I've always like regarded it as, if you're Marvel's flagship family, first family of Marvel is the Fantastic Four. To me, the DC sort of side of things is sort of the Batman family, but Shazam, like the Captain Marvel family's still kind of like, they're the ones tailing up behind the whole Batman family. Like, it's not just Robin and like, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd and all them. Like, so Shazam's like, when they brought him in at the end of the first one, I was like, wow, that was a quick kind of, they're just skipping over this whole like kind of origin story just for Billy and just making it like, no, he needs them.
Yeah.
So just to have him like turn around and do the whole sort of, all right, he's trying to keep the family together and stuff. When he's got all of them sort of being like, yeah, no, we're all going off to do our own things and stuff. It's time for you to grow up. That theme in there really bugged me, because I'm just like, no, like, fine. The cast looks like they're starting to age out and stuff. But the story based around him, like, it's time to grow up. You're going to be 18 soon and you got to start being an adult and stuff. I was like, F that. That's the whole thing that makes, like, Captain Marvel Shazam special, because he's that kid. He's the one that's got the, the harder for youth sort of thing. There's a scene in this where I did laugh my head off, where Helen Mirren is, like, reading off a letter from them, and I'm losing it so bad, because I was like, yes, that's what this is. That's what Billy's, like, sort of Captain Marvel story is all about. But then there's other parts in it where I'm just sort of like, was this necessary? Do we have to see this stuff in here? But that's just,
I thought it was silly and fun. I think, definitely more aimed at like the younger hearted people out there who enjoy, all the fun craziness that comes with all the kids and their antics.
Special effects were all good, like fight scenes and stuff were cool, but some of them like dragged out. And it's so, in the whole films and like director's defense and writers and everything, it's so hard to manage multiple like lead roles and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit like kind of wow, they covered everyone to give them their own kind of personal journey and stuff and their story, but then it's like sort of all right, we didn't need that. You could have saved that for the next one. Oh, guess what? We might not be getting a next one because freaking Gunn might say nope, it didn't.
Yep.
Or like I think even too in Gunn's sort of defense, James Gunn like saying, right, I want to make this all interconnected and want to make it all my kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, so he acts as Henry Cavill, he gets rid of freaking The Rock, you know, but he can't get rid of Robert Pattinson. Movie made too much money. Warner Brothers won't allow it.
He's kept Aquaman.
Yeah, he's sort of kept Jason Momoa for now because I think he's casting Jason Momoa as his dream role as Lobo. But Aquaman 2 is still coming out, so he's got to act like he's still on board
yeah, that's
with.
True.
It's just a lot of.
I wouldn't be surprised if we hear after like a couple of weeks that Shazam's no more. Like,
if this doesn't make money, which it's kind of high betting on it not making money.
It's like the first day that it's out and the cinema was empty.
Yeah, we were literally sitting in the cinema with like four people. And I'm looking around just like, is this like, you know, can you believe this? It's an opening night for a freaking like, you know,
superhero movie, yeah.
You go back 5-6 years where it's like, hey, here comes freaking.
Well, we were there. We were in the cinemas that time.
Yeah, all those times when it was like the hype was so strong. Now it's like kind of everyone's just given up. They've just had enough of like getting plastered in their face like the message and so we need to do better and all that BS, but this didn't really do it to me to the point
had a
where
couple of points, but
where you do sort of go, huh? Why is that
in there? But they do glaze over it quite quickly and jump back into like story mode.
It does feel like there was a quick edit that was there where they said we don't need to put that in there. We need to cut that out because the audience is getting fed up with it.
Yeah.
And I think this sort of shows a sign of, Hollywood's starting to get it. They're starting to understand, like, oh, we can't just jam our propaganda and all our BS in their faces anymore. Mm-hmm. We can't just slap a title or inject our, message into this IP and try and force feed it down a lot of the audience because we're smarter.
Your own message.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like I enjoyed this. To the point where I was just sort of like let down at the end because there's a few cameos in there where you're like, oh man, that'd be so cool if we could see where this was going, but we're probably not going to now. But it's just I thought Zachary Levi, he's he's trying his best and stuff, but you just sort of still feel like it's such a tough character to bounce between like Billy and when he's playing Shazam, like Captain Marvel. I can't stop saying Captain Marvel because he's the freaking actual one. Yes, Brie Larson, you can be a Captain Marvel if you're not a wooden plank acting. So like,
being a bitch.
Yeah, and being a cow on set. Anyway, this was sort of worth seeing in the cinema. I would say
I had
that.
Fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of silly fun and I thought that was enjoyable.
And we did see it in IMAX as well. It was stretched out in some scenes, but besides that, it is fun to go on that ride. And there was a few things in there where I was like, hey, they put that in. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's not like, I can't wait for Shazam 3 because it's not going to happen probably. Like, and then on top of that, if I could rate it, if it's 5 stars, I'd probably give it like a 2.5.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to give it. Yeah. So if like Rotten Tomatoes tries to take our review, like it's not rotten, but it's not fresh either. So like
don't trust Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, because they'll have to stop everyone review bombing and all their BS, whatever they want to make.
But it's a lot of fun, a lot of silly fun. So if you want to go see it in cinema, go for it. It's a good fun ride to go on.
And if you have seen it, we'll get into a spoiler really quick now. I like the Wonder Woman cameo at the end. I did like the whole kind of bringing back the wizard and stuff to, share a little bit of knowledge and stuff to like Billy having all the other stuff. Like I think Helen Mirren she was fine.
Yeah.
But if you replace that character with this big like Jared Butler kind of god type warrior dude, it changes the movie. It makes you feel a little bit more threatened to see
even
Billy
someone
Batson
like
in
an
trouble.
Angelina Jolie, I would still be like, damn, she means some business.
Yeah,
like
but
they played it goofy, they played it kiddie, but
she's
I
in
think
Eternals
that's
anyway.
Yeah,
can't really use her.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, Lucy Liu is sort of like, okay, I'm not feeling it, like her character, and like everyone's trying. You can only work with what you've been given and stuff.
Yeah. And they want that lighthearted tone as well.
On top of that, in the director's defense, when you're handed studio notes and it's like, put that in the movie, and you're just like, what, you want me to put all of this in? Like, oh god, I guess give me the script, I'll do it, fine. But yeah, just I think it was more fun than the first one.
Yeah.
But also too, it was sort of like, we're not setting up characters anymore. That's what made it fun. Like we already knew where they all came from the first one, so now we get to see them on their journey and stuff. But the whole, like, that little message in there of when it's like, oh, you hungover and stuff. It's like, yeah, freaking I was hanging out with people my age and stuff. It's like, what are you like? Oh god, this sucks. It's like, yeah, it's super powered and freaking everyone's pumped about it except for you. Like, what the hell?
Debbie Downer.
Yeah, so like that had to be in there because they wanted to send that message off. We all got to grow up sometime. And I was like, F that. No. Freaking. But yeah, besides that, I can't think of anything else. Can you think of anything you liked or anything
I just thought all around, like as a whole, it was pretty fun.
Any scene that you liked?
I did like the scene where we were laughing about the note. I thought that was pretty funny.
That note was pretty cool. Does anyone want a Gatorade? Have we got red?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Should we proofread it? Nah, Steve's got this. I was so like, yes, this is what it is. This is what Shazam is and stuff. Like, this is what Billy Batson's story is about.
Yeah.
Goofing off and having some fun. But
I also enjoyed the dome at the end where he does the Shazam and takes
big lightning show. Yeah. That was kind of cool. Yeah. But it stretched out a little bit too much for me. I kind of, like, you could get what he was doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And after a while, it was like, is this scene just on repeat? You just get taken out of the movie at that point where you're like kind of going...
It's like the very end bit where he finally gets...
Yeah, when he's just zigzagging back and forth and stuff. But then they do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, they could have cut that.
They could have tightened it up,
weird. But anyway, yeah.
Let us know what you thought in the comments below and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch.
And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.